welcome back to Bachelor Buzz, the best place to come for recaps on your favorite show and the latest in Bachelor Nation news. We're your hosts, Arena
and Julia, and we're very excited to do our recap of the Bachelor finale.
Yes, guys! After the final
today. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
This is the finale of our first season.
Yes!
Cheers, Arena.
Yay!
Yay!
Wine here. Cheers!
Yes. I am actually drinking a giant glass of champagne, or cava, actually. My dear friend Christine got it for me. It was my birthday last week. So she got me Calixo cava, and it's really good. Cava is the sparkling wine of Spain. So if you don't know, that's what cava is, and it is delicious. It definitely is very similar to champagne and prosecco, but I love cava, and it's really great. And of course, we had to break out the bubbles for the celebratory episode. And not only is it our finale, but Joey found a wife or a fiance. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited for them.
Yes.
So I don't know. Do we want to spoil it off the bat? I feel like our listeners probably know, or should we just lead up to it?
Ugh. I mean, they know.
Well, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Joey picks
Kelsey! Who we also predicted.
Yes, we called it.
We know. Because they are just so, they're just so cute together. And I feel so cute. When we saw them on their first one-on-one in Spain, I was like, they're in love. I don't know. It was like,
they just seem so natural and real.
Yes.
And at the same time, so much passion. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the formula. Yeah. And reflecting on our Stars Aligned episode with my friend Natalie, I mean, we're going to go into it, but we were right on the money.
Yes.
Everything she said, everything that we had kind of already predicted was so on point. Your friend also, Elizabeth, predicted that, Daisy was a little more controlling about things. And we will talk about why we say that now. But so let's get into it. Last night we saw the final rose ceremony, of course.
Yeah.
And we also saw the meeting of Joey's parents and family. But then after we saw after the final rose. So we're going to just talk about all of it today.
Yeah.
Try and go in order, I think, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go in order.
Try. But also with some spicy takes.
Yes.
And and our own opinions on stuff. So ready to start?
Let's go. So we start out with, of course, they're showing the ending that they have showed all season long and that they showed in the first episode of the season, where Joey is crying and he's standing there on that podium and with the ocean in the background and the final rose is sitting there and everyone's like, oh, it's gonna happen. But I gotta be honest with you, I felt like even as Jesse kept teasing it so much in this final episode, I was like, I really don't think it's going to be all that. I think it'll probably technically be different. But I was like, they're just teasing it so much that I'm like, oh. And I kind of feel like, they teased it way too much. But
I feel like, that whole scene wasn't actually even in the portrayal of the final rose. Now, I'm kind of annoyed by that though. For sure. They showed that so much, yet we don't see where it really was placed. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But I do feel it was odd that it didn't actually show up in the actual episode. But
just a teeny bit of
just
it.
not
a
much,
little bit of it did, but
not the whole him taking off his jacket and going into the car, you know? Yeah. All that was definitely not included last night.
No. It was already too long. I'm just kidding.
I know. They probably had to cut because it was a long. It was 3 hours, y'all. So we're going to try and keep ours under 3 hours.
Oh my gosh. We're going to do our best.
Definitely under 2. Come on, that's our goal.
Yes. But so let's get into the family meeting with Joey's family. So we meet Joey, for the second time, because we've met them last season, charity season, when she did hometowns and went to Joey's hometown to meet his family. So we meet his dad, Nick, We meet his mom, Kathy. We meet his sister, Carly, and her husband, I think his name is Zach. And we meet his younger sister, Ellie. So Carly's older, Ellie's younger, Joey's the middle child. And so he thinks a lot of what his sisters have to say. So they definitely pulled both women to talk to them separately. And of course, his dad and his mom did the same. He starts
Mhm.
out with Daisy. And I think it's very interesting with Daisy because before he brings in Daisy, I think this is when he said it, but his sister was basically like, she asked him a question and he answered it by saying, with Daisy, we are compatible. Like we make sense. And the way he always would bring that up with Daisy, I always kind of felt like it's like he's saying, well, if people saw us, they would get it. Like it would just make
Mhm.
sense. But it wasn't like a lot of passion behind it. And then
Yeah.
I feel like he
It's
was
like good
like,
on paper.
exactly,
That's
like
not
this
really
looks
how you find your life
good.
partner. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like if you're older and you're going into like a second marriage or third or fourth, and you've already done this before, that it's a little different. Maybe you are looking for that because you're looking for something different. But I feel like when it's your first time looking for that spouse or that lifelong partner and you're, younger and you're more like in that stage of your life where you're like, oh, I'm just so passionate. And not that you can't be passionate later on,
Mhm.
but I feel like it's gonna be more of a feeling when you're thinking about the person that you're falling in love with or you want to propose to, that you're thinking about the logical things, but you're also very like, oh, I just want to be with this person. I get so happy when I'm with them. And that is how he describes his interactions or how he feels about Kelsey.
Yeah, it definitely was different.
Yeah.
Um, Also, I mean, they talked to Daisy and they're like, oh, tell us about yourself. She does talk about her cochlear
Yeah.
implant. How could she not? It's a huge part of her.
It
I
is.
just thought it was funny that when she had her one on one with like his mom, she was like,
Yeah.
what makes you unique? And
I
it's
know.
like, lady, your
I thought that was
cochlear
so funny
implant.
though.
Like, I think I mean, that's arguably a extremely character building unique
Yeah.
thing, and it's
For,
very valid. It's not like, oh, this
yeah.
is some small thing you keep but like yeah, it was kind of funny, but I could tell that Daisy kind of scrambled and was like, all right,
Yeah.
well, I can't talk about it again. So she's like,
Yeah.
I'm resilient, I love big and all that. And I just felt like mom was just a little bit like, okay, well,
Yeah.
if you were chosen, that would be special. You would have a special relationship. Like I just felt like she was kind of almost like grilling Daisy. Like she was
Yes.
kind of like,
She
why? Why
was.
are you like that? What do you
Yeah.
mean by that? Can you tell me more? And it's like, ooh,
She was.
Mama
And I
Grezza
loved that.
Days.
I'm glad
Yeah.
she
Oh,
did
I'm
that
so glad.
because, like, Daisy's great. And it's not about Daisy, but I think a good mom is going to be kind of like, hey, so what does make you special? And maybe she was thinking, okay, you've mentioned the cochlear implant. What else
Right.
about you
Yeah.
that makes you
I appreciate that.
special?
And also,
Yeah.
this mom has already met a girl from
Hmm.
Bachelor Nation. She's
Hmm.
probably like up in the ante as far
Yeah.
as like, let me make sure I really get
Yeah.
to know these people.
Hmm.
And then we see Daisy also spoke with the sisters, and I
Hmm.
mean, they loved her. They were
They
just like,
loved her so much.
she's so cute. She's sweet.
Yeah.
She is ready for marriage. Daisy
Hmm.
definitely expressed that she would like say
Hmm.
yes if he proposed. And
Hmm.
that was actually a big thing to them. They were very
Yeah.
happy to hear that. Daisy did tear up a few times
Yeah.
and, little, it was tears, but I have to say when it was Kelsey's turn, those tears were like
Woof.
deep emotions
Yes.
coming out. Like it
Yes.
really was a big difference. And I think that is something that Joey appreciates. Like he
Yeah.
really wants someone who's emotional.
Yeah, he
He's pretty
is.
emotional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a really emotional guy. And you can
So,
see also where it comes from with his
mhm.
sisters. They were getting really emotional. His mom gets emotional.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but you can see like also meeting his family again and getting more time with them and actually hearing the dad talk because we really didn't hear the dad
Yeah.
last time with charity
Mhm.
season. Um or his younger sister Ellie, that it was really
Mhm.
nice to kind of get a better look at who they are. And like you said, we didn't see his dad talk to Daisy, but we did see that interaction with his mom, and we saw the interaction with the sisters, and sisters loved her. And then, Daisy leaves and he, says bye to her and everything. And I feel like Daisy also said all the right things. Like, I feel like her responses, because like you said with the sisters, they really liked what she said because she said all the right things. And I
She
think
really
that,
did. And it was like
yeah.
I don't
And
know.
it's not to knock her. I just feel like that's who she is. Like some people are just like that's how they are in situations. They're going to say the right things. And then other people are going to really feel like a Kelsey. She was speaking from the
Mhm.
heart. And we'll get to
Yes.
her and her
Yeah.
interaction with the sisters, but it was a little different and the sisters were a little like, "Oh, like I don't." And they love
Right.
her now though. If you look on Instagram, obviously.
Yeah.
But like at the time, I think
Right.
they were just a little like, we asked her if she's ready to get married, and she was just like, I think so.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, she was being honest, and
She's being
she
honest,
clarified.
and I think that, like, they have this perception that Joey wants to get married. Like,
Like,
Joey has
yeah.
never talked about, like, wanting to get married right away, right? Even when he
Yes.
talked to Lexi, it was
Yes.
like a 3 to 5 year plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, I think that they were protective, but maybe they weren't really understanding what he wanted to.
Yeah.
But Kelsey knows what he wants. And I think
Yeah.
that is why she said that because for her, that answer was natural because
Yes.
like
Yeah.
she understood that he's not like looking to get married right away, but like she would
Mhm.
say yes. I think that wasn't clear, but like we all knew it. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, she was gonna say yes. But
Yeah.
they were saying, are you ready to get married?
Yeah.
You
And
know,
that's a lot. That's a big difference from
it's just
engagement.
like, let's
It,
get, she was like, I'm just here to find my person. Like, that's
yeah.
step one.
Yeah.
But, right?
And
I
she was
mean,
so
that's what I took
clear
from.
about
Mhm.
like saying that, she didn't come there saying, I'm going to get married. Like she was very clear
Yeah.
about like that wasn't her intent. It was more like it's the person and
Yeah.
Joey is the person. So then, yeah, she would be ready. But it wasn't just going to be coming into the door like, I'm ready to get married. I don't care who it is, this guy, like, I want to get it to the end. And I really
Right.
did appreciate her response as well. And speaking like her conversation she had with his mom. I really
Mhm.
loved that conversation because his mom, asked her, what will you do if it's not you at the end? And she was very clear in saying, well, basically, I'll be devastated, but, Daisy's a great person. And honestly, like, I'll just be
Yeah.
happy for him that he has found his person. And his mom was so smart. She brought up her conversation with him at the end of his hometown and charity season and how she
Mhm.
asked him the same question. And he said, well, Mom, it's 100% me. I know it's me. But if it's not, I care about Charity so deeply
Yeah.
that I will just be so happy for her that she's found the one, her forever person. And that's similar
Yeah.
to Kelsey's response. And I think the mom really liked hearing that because she felt like, oh, they're on the same page. They
Yes.
both
They have the
are
same,
coming from
like,
love.
yeah, like the same
Yeah.
perspective and
Yes.
love for the
And
person.
yes.
And that's really beautiful. I think
Yes.
also there was a moment and I think a lot of people on, like Bachelor Nation are talking about it, but there
Mhm.
was a moment in the beginning when so we're now fully talking about Kelsey's team.
Yeah.
But like in the beginning when she comes in, she's just like kind of chatting with the family
Yeah.
and like she looks at Joey and he's got some schmutz and she
Yes.
just like clears it
I
with her
know.
thumb and like kind of
Yes.
wipes his face just very nonchalantly, very
Yes.
comfortably and
Yes.
they show the mom kind of like smirk to the dad being like,
Yes.
did you see that? Like
Yeah.
that's a winner. And I think that little things like that are
Mhm.
just like it's the little things,
Yes.
it's the
Yes.
little things that I care about you, I'm comfortable
Yes.
with you, your
Yeah.
body is my body, like it's just kind of like let me just fix you, move it along, there's no awkwardness, so that was really cute. And I
I
do
love
think
that.
that that was a really good thing for everyone to see,
Yes.
again they're just really comfortable together and
Uh-huh.
that's a wifey, it's a
Yeah,
wife
and I love
move.
it. I love it. I
Hmm.
love that you brought that up because it's so true. And the
Yeah.
mom's reaction. And that's why I feel like parents know. So, regardless, I think his parents would have sat there going, well, both girls are great. Both women are great, obviously.
Hmm.
But I feel like as a parent, and we'll both know this as our children grow older, but I feel like
Yeah.
we'll know. Like when we meet people,
Yeah.
like we'll be like,
My
great
parents
person,
said
but
that when they
really?
met Brent. Yeah, my
Yeah.
husband.
Yeah.
Another thing is that Kelsey and his mom matched. They both had olive green
Yes.
dresses on. I was
Yes.
like,
Oh my gosh. I know.
that's crazy.
I
So
know.
that was cool.
That
Again, the
was so
universe
cute.
is just like, hey,
Hey,
it's Kelsey,
it's
guys.
Kelsey, guys. Even if you don't get it, Joey, just yet, it's
Yeah.
Kelsey. But yeah, so she has a good I think, experience
Yep.
with the family.
Mhm.
And, she leaves, he walks her out, and we wrap that up. And then the next day, oh, can I make a note though? Actually,
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. I feel like in the past, at least with charity season, and I want to say maybe definitely charity season. Like, they did the family meetings on different days. It was like
Yes, I
one
know. It was
day.
really rushed this episode.
Yeah, it was
It was
like
like
boom,
30 minutes
boom.
in. I'm like, we're done with Kelsey's like date.
Yeah,
I was
like
like, wow, that was really fast, you
so
know?
fast. And then they gave them full on day long
Dates.
dates, which usually isn't it just like I'm seeing you at night, like the next day, and this is the last time we're gonna see each other. But they did
Maybe.
full on all day and then night,
Yeah,
which
I
was
don't
nice,
remember
but
that they did that before.
I don't remember them. They definitely didn't do it with Charity, but I'm not sure 100% with the other bachelors and bachelorettes if they did that. But Daisy's date was definitely pivotal in seeing how things had changed between them because this is when I
Her
really was
date
like,
was
"Ah,
rough.
Daisy." Yeah,
I
because
really,
I
I'm
felt for
not gonna
her.
lie, it was hard for me to connect with Daisy this whole
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
But like you're right, like this date, I actually was like Daisy. Like I
hmm
had empathy for her.
Yes,
I
me
like
too.
was rooting for her in a
Yeah.
way, even though I didn't
Yeah.
want her. Like I wanted him to choose Kelsey. Like
Yeah. I mean, we
we
both
think
looked.
she's best. We're
Yeah.
not going to be swayed.
Yeah.
But I really was rooting for her just in the sense of like I don't want this girl to be sad. I want her to be
Yes.
okay. Like she was like, "Oh, like this hurts. Like it's just hurting me." And the producer was like, "Why is it hurting?" And she was like, "Well, like it could he may not like love me, you know?" And
Yeah.
it's just like, "Oh," because she was gonna tell him she loves him for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but man, that date was like intense. They basically went into like what was it called? I mean, it was some sort of
I
like
don't know what you would call
aroma, like
it.
not a ayahuasca thing, but it
Yeah,
was like
not
a
a
steam like a steam
yeah.
cave. Is that a
Yeah.
thing?
Have they
I wish
created
I took note of what
something?
it's actually
I
called.
know. I
I
feel
feel like an
awful.
idiot right now.
I'm
Sorry,
so
guys. If you
sorry.
know, drop it in the comments. But
Please.
like, yeah, it was like
Please.
a spirit. It was spiritual,
It was
which
very
I didn't know she was
spiritual.
that spiritual. She's like, I'm
Yeah.
super spiritual. I was like,
And he
oh,
mentioned it too, and I was like, why didn't they
yeah.
share this? Like,
Right.
why did they
Spiritual
choose to
with
leave certain
what?
things out? But
Anyways,
yeah.
but yeah, they like went into a cave and like
Mhm.
they, had like steam. They were in
Yeah.
bathing suits. And
Yeah.
like at the end, they went out and they like threw a wish into the fire, right? Fire.
Yes, it was a
And
fire.
oh my God,
Oh
Arena,
my gosh.
when
No.
she was like, I don't even remember what her wish was. Do you remember
Yeah,
what
but it
hers
was
was?
something like she wants to her desire is to grow with him and are their love to grow or something. It was very much intertwined with having him in her life. And then we heard his,
Yeah.
and it
Let me check my
was. So did you write it or did you add it to your
maybe spiritual
notes?
date. She wants to tell him she loves him. She's frustrated. Um, Okay, no, I did not write it. But basically, Joey, little Joey, what's your wish? That we both just find our person, whether or not it's with each other,
Well, our happiness.
our
Yeah.
happiness. My
Yeah.
jaw dropped. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, Mr.
Yeah. Oh
Says
man.
everything the right way. That
Oh
was
my.
so clearly
Oh my gosh.
like, I don't want to tell you, I don't want to lead you on. That's the shit you say when you don't want to lead someone on.
Yeah.
Whoever, you're a great girl. Like, it's
Yeah, I
like,
know. Well, he says that later. I'm
oh,
sorry, he does. He says it
he
later at the
says all
nighttime
the
too. He
things.
says all the things. And this is when she first like you could tell on
Yeah,
her
her
face
whole mood
drops.
changed.
Yes, and she was just like, okay. Like, what do you
It
say in
was
that moment?
so, I mean, I think I said it 100 times last night. I was like, that would have
Yes.
sent me. Like, I would have
Yes.
just gone full on overthinking,
Yes.
crazy mode, just like,
Yes.
okay, so you hate me. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah, why am
Why
I
am I
here?
here?
Why are you
Jinx.
even doing this? Like
Jinx,
just cut
cheers.
me loose now. Let's go. Like
Mhm.
like let me go. Like, oh my gosh, it was awful.
Poor Daisy. That was really like that was
Daisy.
as they say in Australian English, they say I was gutted. Like that was a kick in
Yes.
the guts right
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Um yeah, so the poor Daisy, that's really where everything was like,
Yeah.
okay, things are becoming clearer. And then
Yeah.
the juxtaposition between her date Oh, okay. We have to
Mhm.
talk about the
The
nighttime. So
nighttime.
nighttime date.
Oof.
She looked beautiful. I loved that
Yes.
green dress. I
That green
immediately
dress,
went
beautiful.
onto the
Style
Instagram we
spotter?
follow, Style
Yeah.
Spotter.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just a
It
cute
was so
green,
cute.
like
Such a cute
satin dress
dress.
with little sleeves. It's short. Anyways, it's a
Mhm.
wrap dress. And I mean, it was a fine date. I think she was more comfortable. I actually really loved how she kind of was like, "Oh, this morning or today I was really in my head, but I've chosen," or, in my head because I thought he wasn't gonna pick me, "But for this
Yeah.
date, I've chosen to believe that he will pick me," which
Yeah.
I think was really powerful, and I loved her for, like,
Yes.
pointing out how to stay mentally strong. Like, that was to me, like, a really, uh, like, great lesson for, like, just staying positive,
Yeah.
so that was cool.
Yeah.
And she ended up telling him that she loved him,
Yeah.
and, I mean, what did he
Oh,
say? Like,
he was like, something like, "I'm so happy to hear that," or "Thank you for that." Like, I appreciate it, or it was not exactly those words, guys, but it was essentially that. And then he goes on to go on about this has been hard and
"She's
just like she's
special."
so special. I want you to know that you're such a great person. And it's like, oh my gosh.
He
And I
doesn't
don't even
validate
think
her.
he doesn't at all. And she's
He's
sitting
not
there
like, "Don't
going,
worry." Like
right, which he did later, as we saw with another
mhm.
lady. But
Who,
basically,
Reina?
in Kelsey, but
Me.
in the ITMs,
Yeah.
she's even saying, like, I told him that I love him and I knew he wasn't going to say it back, but I would have appreciated a little more validation, reassurance. And he was not giving it to her. And I don't even think Joey realized that's what he was doing.
He thought
I,
he was just knocking him out of the park. Like, I
yes.
think he thought he was playing it really well, but, like,
Yes.
no,
No.
we're all a little bit
We're all watching this
at
with
this
horror.
stage, yeah. No, at this stage, like, you can't be throwing those, like,
No.
little answers, like,
And his tight lips too. When she said it, he was like,
mm.
"Oh my
Oh
gosh,
god.
Joey, I can see it. I can see it."
Oh,
And poor Daisy. Not, I don't want to say poor Daisy, like, oh, poor Daisy, because no woman needs like the
I
pity of
know.
like, whatever. She's gonna
No.
find her person
She's
and he's gonna be
fine.
great.
She's definitely fine,
It's
yeah.
Daisy. Yeah, she's amazing. But like it was tough to see because it had changed. It had flipped because as you guys remember, we had seen throughout this entire season pretty much him chasing her in quote, right? Like her being the one that was like, I'm not going to say I love him just to get a rose. And he was all
Yep.
like waiting for her to say, you're falling in love with me. And he was infatuated with her, admired her, still admires her, I'm sure. But very
Yeah.
much like Daisy, Daisy, Daisy. And then it got to a point, at some point, I think between Fantasy Suites and this time frame, it
Mhm.
switched. And we finally
Yeah.
see him being way more, leaning way more towards Kelsey. Like we always knew
Yeah.
it was there, but we truly start to see it. And Daisy sees it too. And her strong intuition, she knows, she can feel it. And she says in that
Yeah.
ITM at the end, I got to be honest with you. I don't think it's 100% me.
Well, remember,
What do
she actually talked about, like, that pivotal moment
Yes.
at the hangar, right? It was when Rachel or no,
No,
when
it
Maria
was
went
when
home?
Rachel left, when they
When
were
Rachel
in
left.
Tulum.
Oh, okay, that
She
so it
saw
was
them
last
look at each
week.
other. Yeah.
And they just, like, shared a look, and
Hmm.
Daisy was like,
Oh,
"Ooh, that's
okay.
a whole 'nother level type of look." Like,
Yes.
I think she realized it then,
Started
but
to,
you know
yeah.
what we have to remember, and we've pointed this out, where production has favored Daisy. They've favored
Yes.
her love story. They
Yeah.
have put her in the best light
Yeah.
to the point where we can't really trust the order of events for the
Yes.
rose ceremony. So even though for us it's like, oh, Daisy was always called first,
Hmm.
they had a really strong connection. Like, actually, that's two. So that's why I thought it was the hanger, because that
Oh,
was two rose ceremonies ago
yes.
that
Yeah.
he picked Kelsey first
Yes.
twice.
Yes.
And then now it's
Hmm.
the final rose. So Daisy's
Yeah.
probably been in her head for a while about that.
Yeah.
And maybe she's talked about it, but her
Hmm.
production has not shown it.
Yeah.
We were not shown it. So, like, again, we were let on.
Yeah. Yeah, we really were. They definitely were steering us in a different direction towards Daisy than Kelsey. And the fact that, honestly, their editing wasn't even that good when it came to covering that up. I mean, the editing all season has been
No.
great. You guys have done
Yeah.
great. But specifically for these rose ceremonies where he
They don't,
chose Kelsey
yeah.
first, he's known that. Since hometowns, it's been Kelsey. And didn't I
Mhm.
remember saying that I feel like in the hometowns episode or one of our recaps, I said, I feel like the lead knows who their
Yeah.
one
Yes,
or
at
two
hometown.
is, whether they consciously realize it or not. They subconsciously feel it and maybe just aren't admitting it to themselves. And I think that with Joey, my take on him is that, and obviously this man knows, like, whatever he was feeling, and this is just me speculating because I'm just watching the show. I don't know him. But I feel like he, deep down, knew it was Kelsey, but didn't want to admit it to himself for so long because it felt so logical and it made so much sense, like you said, on paper, that it could be
Mhm.
Daisy too. And so that's
Yeah.
what made it so hard for him going back and forth. But his actions and his words spoke volumes in who
Yeah.
he actually was leaning towards. Because even when we see him with Kelsey, it is very much, I'm so giddy when I'm around her. He's smiling from ear to ear.
Yes.
He's
So
so
much
happy. He can't keep
fun.
his hands off of her. He's just like, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And with Daisy, he's like, Daisy's beautiful. He's attracted to Daisy, but it's different. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's just distinctly different.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think that like that's kind of the point in the relationship where it's like make or break anyways. Like they've
yeah.
been dating for a while
Yeah.
and like he needs to start thinking, can I actually live with this person? Can I
Yes.
actually be not so much like are they the right kind of person I want to be with?
Mm.
And that's how dating goes. The
Yeah.
first couple months are just, all the best things.
Mhm.
But now we're like meeting the family. We had our
Yeah.
fantasy suite. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they are still in rose-colored glasses,
Yes.
literally way more than the normal person would be at this point.
Yeah.
But I think that it just becomes more apparent as it goes on. And unfortunately, Daisy had to deal with that on this date. It just became so stark, and that's hard.
Yeah.
As Natalie mentioned, she's a Virgo, so she likes being in control. And I think that throughout the whole season, like you said, she's been in control of his emotions and his feelings.
Mhm.
But it just switched and she
Yeah.
felt she lost control. So what did she do?
She took it
She
back.
took it back.
Right
Oh
back.
my God, that's two times now. I'm making you drink. Every time
Spicy
we say
take.
something,
Spicy take.
spicy take.
Come on,
Cheers.
guys. Spicy take. She took that power back. Or
Mhm.
control.
Okay, so where are we at? We finished Daisy's
Yeah.
date. Kelsey's date,
Kelsey.
as I was saying, huge juxtaposition.
Yes.
Daisy's date was this like intense, like spiritual thing.
Yes.
Kelsey's was let's get a massage and put face masks on each
Yeah.
other and
Yeah.
like
It was fun.
get
It was
pedicures.
relaxing.
Let's
Yeah.
hang out in a giant room and the
Yeah.
AC
Yeah.
going like
Yeah.
together. Like it was just so fun and natural
Yeah.
as all their dates have been.
Hmm. Yes.
Like that is the one thing that Bachelor I think threw her a bone with, where it's like,
Yes.
okay, she's probably someone who can just go have fun
Yeah.
doing whatever, so we're just gonna
Mhm.
let her do that. Like they didn't try any structured dates with
Nothing.
her.
Nothing.
The most structured one that she went on was the ice like water challenge, and she
Oh
picked
yeah.
that. She's like,
She,
let's do it. He's like,
yeah.
what?
I know.
He had
He was
just
not
done
feeling
like the
it.
acrobat thing. Like, oh
Yeah.
my
Oh my
God,
gosh. Yeah, it's true.
it's
She got
funny.
all of the very like chill, regular
Chill.
dates like you would do with a boyfriend or someone you're dating in real life. None of this
Mhm.
extra fireworks or drone
Nothing
shows
crazy.
or shopping dates or helicopters, any of this extra stuff that they do during the season. She did not get that.
Yeah.
And it was great for them. It was great for their relationship because they also had the opportunity to really talk to each other and get to see what it's
Yeah.
like to spend time with each other in like a normal environment.
Yeah.
Um, without all the frills and thrills. So that
Yeah.
definitely helped her too, I think. And I
Yeah.
would say also like with her dates, just it's funny. I feel like I don't take as many notes with her anymore because I feel like it's just so
I
apparent
know.
that
It's
I'm
just like,
thinking
went
like,
well.
yeah, like they're
They
like
like each
so
other.
they like each other, they love each other. He's so into her, and I feel like there's not a lot for me to analyze because I just see it in front of me. And
Yeah.
I would say their nighttime date was very beautiful, and he was so reassuring to her without saying that he loves her. And I love the way she told him that she loves him, which was very different from the way Daisy did it. And I'm not trying, everyone's going to be different in the words that they use,
Yeah.
obviously. So this is not a knock once again to Daisy, guys. But I'm just going to say, like, when Kelsey was telling Joey again that she loves him, she said, I love you. I love like doing the small things or little things with you, like cooking breakfast again in the morning, waking up next to you. And she said all these
I want to
other
be in
things
your
like,
corner
I want to be in your
forever.
corner. I want to
Like,
be your best friend. Like, I want to
I put
spend
that on our story
10 years,
to,
right? Like,
yeah.
it's so
Mhm.
beautiful. And like 10 years from now, I want to be there. And she's just, the way she's saying it is so beautiful. And he loved it because he just stares at her intently. And
I I
it's
was
just
like,
lovely.
I
It's
was
lovely.
so like
She was so
just like
intentional.
emotional when I watched that. I was like,
Yeah.
that is a woman who is in love with this guy, but
Yes.
also like
Yeah.
understands what a
Hmm.
relationship really is. It is
Yes.
not the thrills and frills, you know?
Yeah. It's not
Like it
always
really
fun.
is, who do you cook breakfast with? You
Yeah.
know,
Who
who
you
do
wake
you
up next
like
to.
go on little dates with? You
Yeah.
know, it's just it's life and I
Being in the
love
right
that.
corner.
And
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them. Oh,
I
I
really
cried. I
am.
cried a lot
And
last night. I'm not gonna
the
lie.
the difference I saw with the way Daisy put it was, I love you. I have fallen in love with you. And it's in such a natural and uplifting way. And I honestly was just kind of like, well, I hope it's uplifting and natural, like if it's love. Like I just feel like we know he's not her person, but I think that's
Hmm.
why maybe it was hard for her to say more because on paper, I think to her, he's great too, right? Like,
Yeah.
of course she would love him. Of course
Yeah.
she
She
would be
like
with someone like
wanted to.
him. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with the fact that he's not her person and that she will find the right one for her because she deserves that. And she's a beautiful woman and she deserves to be with the right man for her. But it was kind of like you could see the difference and also just what works for Joey and what speaks to him more is
Yeah.
someone who's going to say all those type of things that Kelsey did, who's going to show the
Yeah.
emotion like you said. She shows emotion. She's more emotional like he's emotional.
Aries.
Yes, Aries. And the fact that that really fits Joey, it suits him and he connects with it, he relates to it, he gets it. And
Hmm.
I think that maybe that was a part of it too. But just the fact that his reassurance of her saying, I know you're going to think that or whatever, but I don't want you to think that. I don't want you to basically get stuck on that. I want you to think of what could be. It's like he's essentially
He,
telling her right there, it's you,
yes.
girl.
He was like, I don't want
Don't
you to
cry.
feel, he's
It's
like,
you.
I don't want you to feel any doubt. I was like,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I feel like you wouldn't say that if you
No.
were still choosing. Like,
Unless
you
you were a
just
bad
don't
bachelor.
say that unless you're Clayton. Just kidding.
Oh,
Just kidding.
we
Clayton didn't that, but
Clayton
he
did.
is kind of the one
Yes.
who slept with both and said, I
Yeah.
slept with both of you.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
It
And
was
watch that season if
awkward.
you don't
It's not a
know.
good move. Even
Yeah.
though
It's
I am like a fan of Clayton now. Can we just talk about his fun dance moves?
Clayton and his
Follow him for
dancing
fun dance
moves.
moves, guys. And he's a realtor. It's interesting. He posts
Yeah, in
stuff about
Arizona.
that.
He has
He's
an
funny.
Airbnb.
I like him more now than I did when
Did
he
you
was a
did
bachelor. Yeah. Like he's just like a funny, fun guy
He's
now.
such an interesting dude. Like, I really
He's
want him on
got
our
he's
show
cool.
because I'm
Yeah.
like
Oh my God, I would love
curious.
that.
Who are you,
Hmm.
Clayton? Please talk to us. Clayton.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, guys, we'll see.
Anyways,
We'll see. We're gonna start getting interviews later on, guys. We just
yeah.
started. We just started
Lining
this
him
week.
up for next
Yes.
season.
But yeah, like like you said, we don't think he would say something like that if it wasn't her.
No.
He's basically telling
And
her
once again,
it's
he
you.
hasn't told anyone I love you yet, which
He kept
is,
it close to his
man,
heart
the first season where they haven't done that in
in
like 10
years.
seasons,
Yeah, it's
probably.
been so
Bachelor and
long.
Bachelorette. Like,
Yes. And no offense to everyone, if to people who did that. You guys went with your heart and you felt it and you did it, and that's fine. Everyone
I
got
just feel like
through
it
it.
became like the
It's a
norm,
thing.
but I'm glad
Yes.
that he's like resetting the standard. And I'm really
Yes.
hoping that our
Jen.
Bachelorette,
Jen.
Jen, yeah, spoiler, sorry,
Sorry,
spoiler.
guys. Oops. It's Jen!
Jen.
And we're so excited, but we will get to
We
that. We're
are. We will
so
talk about
excited
it.
that it's her.
Okay, we gotta move
Yeah.
on.
Yes.
Kelsey, so
So,
Kelsey had a great date. Next day, the girls are getting ready.
Yes.
And we see Daisy getting ready, looks gorgeous, red
Hmm.
dress.
So
Again,
beautiful.
though, red dress. Kelsey's wearing white.
Come on, guys.
The
Production.
symbolism is right there, you
Production.
know.
Come on.
Yeah, like how to put them both in white, all
Come
right?
on.
Or
Come on.
nothing. Why is no one should wear white, honestly. But anyways,
She looked, both dresses were
they were
just
gorgeous. Yeah.
amazing. Yes, and they both looked beautiful,
Kelsey's dress
gorgeous.
was
I loved her dress.
unreal.
I loved
Yeah.
Kelsey's dress. Like it was so
Daisy's
cute,
was
simple
really
on
cool
top, and
too.
then the little like feathers at the bottom. Like,
Little
so pretty.
little flapper girl, but long
Yeah,
dress
like long
version.
dress. And I love that she's a tall girly, guys. Can I just throw that
I
in?
know.
I love, okay, I feel like I don't feel like I'm tall anymore, but I'm like
Mm,
close to her height. I'm 5'7", like a quarter. I feel like I'm shrinking. Is this dumb? I'm sorry.
really?
Anyways.
Well, you got two kids, so your arches fell.
That's right. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. I
it's
did
true.
shrink. Okay.
And the weight of the world also.
Yes, yes.
It's heavy, you know.
But she's a tall girly. She's 5'8", and I love that he's
Yeah.
5'11", guys. So he's only 3 inches taller than her. And all season, we saw her in those chunky heels, right? So she wasn't giving herself a ton of height, and she does have heels because if you watch her TikToks, she's got some heels.
She wore heels
But
at the
I,
after the final
oh,
rose,
right, she was
which
wearing real
I was
heels at
like
the
happy
final
about that.
rose.
My husband
Go
was like,
girl.
"Oh, like she's really tall,
Yeah,
you know, like are they the same height?" I'm like, "No, she's wearing heels." And he's like,
yeah.
"She's still really." I'm like, "She's wearing heels. It's great. Looks amazing.
I love the
She
heels she was
can wear
wearing.
heels.
She can wear
She
heels, and
can.
that's what
Thank
I love with
God.
Joey. He's not
Not
like he doesn't dislike it because some guys get a little like, but
some
he's okay
do.
with it. She's a
But you
tall
know
girl
what? The
and he loves
short
it.
king movement is powerful. There are a
And
lot of short kings out there, tall
yeah,
queens, you know.
that's
It's a
true. But he's
beautiful
not even
thing.
short. He's not a short
He's
guy.
not. No, this
Yeah,
is not the case.
yeah.
But,
But yeah,
you
a lot of people
know,
call
she
him that
probably
though.
has dealt with a lot of short
Yeah,
kings or
because
like at least that,
yeah,
you know, question
can't
about whether
handle
or
it.
not they can
Yeah,
handle the height. So
they can't
I'm
handle it.
happy for them that they found people
Yeah.
that are
I just noticed that. Sorry,
good
guys, because
sizes.
that was like
We are
part of my
not body shaming
experience.
here.
I
We're just
know
talking
we're just
about,
commenting
yeah, just
on. Yes,
commenting.
that's all. That's
I mean,
all.
it's basically the same thing we were talking about Maria when I thought she was 5'11".
Oh, I know. Sorry.
I was
Stop.
like, y'all, Maria's 5'11". She needs to sue whoever wrote that on the internet because it was everywhere.
I know.
I
But
checked my sources.
I know you did, Julia. Julia always does, guys,
I
because
always do.
that's what we do. So just because they put that
It was
wrong
just
information
quick.
out there
It was just a
everywhere,
lot of them that said that,
okay?
right?
A
Like,
lot.
look up her parent, you know, her parents didn't
Yeah.
say it. You should have
Everyone's
asked them.
everyone's putting a lot of the wrong stuff out there. But but yeah, so we have the day of the proposal,
Yes. Let's get to
Daisy.
it.
I have to maybe I have some spicy takes here too, Julia, because I
Okay.
don't even know if they're spicy, but maybe some people may take it spicy. So
Okay.
we have Daisy, who obviously is going back and forth. She's feeling in her gut that it's not her, which I
Hmm.
totally understand and I applaud because I'm like, yes, I'm very much a believer of listening to your intuition because your intuition will never steer you wrong, in my
Hmm.
opinion. And she was really listening to it. So she gets dressed in that beautiful dress, like you mentioned, the red dress. Her hair is done, her makeup is done, and she decides, like, I'm gonna go talk to Kelsey.
Go
Now
talk.
we're
Yeah.
like, is she talking to Joey? Because she knocks
Everyone,
on that door.
every viewer
Yeah.
expected Joey to answer. Knock,
Yes.
knock, knock,
Yeah.
knock. She knocked
I know
twice.
she was there for a while.
And Kelsey opened, and I just gasped. I was like, what?
Yes.
This has never been seen before.
This is what Jesse was teasing, and
This was
Joey
it,
all
guys.
season,
This
all
was
season.
it.
This was it.
The final
Um,
two spoke
yes.
before the final rose.
Hmm.
But of course, it was deeper than that. We are
Yes.
just being
Yes.
a little facetious. But yes, that was the twist.
Yes.
But yeah, they spoke.
Yeah.
And Daisy really just wanted to get clarity about how
Mhm.
strong Kelsey and
Yeah.
Kelsey and Joey's connection was,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, she just wanted that. That's why she kept asking her pointed questions. She was like, if you don't mind me asking, like, how did your week go? How did your date go? Because she,
Yeah.
like you said, was trying to get clarity and try to make sure. I think she just wanted to make sure her intuition was on the right path. And she just wanted to confirm that she's feeling the right thing, that she's doing the right thing. And basically, Kelsey was honest and she's like, oh, no, it went really well. It went like,
She was
it
like,
just,
"Did you feel validated?" Because I
she's
didn't
like,
feel
yeah.
validated. And Kelsey was like, I felt
Yeah.
really validated,
Validated. I know.
actually. And I
Go,
think
Kelsey.
Kelsey was
Speak
also
your
putting it
truth.
together, like, guess that he's gonna pick me,
Speak your
and
truth. Speak your
yeah,
truth.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
like, it's nice that they did talk about it. Like, I
Yeah.
liked that there was, like, not a lot of drama here, and, like, it
Yeah.
was
There
hard,
wasn't a lot
it's
of
always
drama.
hard to watch someone who's like Joey, where
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be engaged," and
Yeah.
then their face falls when they're
Mhm.
rejected on national TV
Yeah.
after
Oh,
thinking for weeks that they were
them.
gonna get married.
Yeah. Whew.
Um,
But that's why I don't. That's why. So
that's the
both on
spicy tea.
Daisy's side
Mhm.
and Joey's side. Okay. Daisy, I understand why she did that. I know that they're really good friends, her and Kelsey, and I think that's wonderful. Like you said, there was no drama, and I love that. And I love that they showed that
Mhm.
on the show because women don't always have to fight. They don't always have to be at each other's throats and call each other names. It
Right.
doesn't have to be that
They don't
way.
always have to be compared.
Exactly. But I'm almost like, why didn't Daisy just go straight to Joey, knock on his door, and say, "Hey, I know it's not me. It's fine. You do you. I'm
Yeah.
happy for the two of you. I'm gonna go." Like, why didn't she do
It
that?
really
Why did she make it a whole
stink.
thing and involve
I mean, it's
Kelsey?
like if she had gone to Kelsey and Kelsey was like, "Oh, I have no idea. I'm like really feeling insecure."
Yeah,
She probably would have just proceeded as
yeah,
normal
yeah,
and probably planted seeds of doubt in Kelsey's mind too.
yeah, exactly.
But like, thankfully, Kelsey
Yeah,
wasn't even close to that
yeah,
mentality.
yeah.
But it really does make you think, like, again, I mean, the star sign analysis, like Daisy's a Virgo and nothing against Virgos. But I think that there is like an element of control that they
Mm-hmm.
like to have.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, this was all playbook plays of control.
Yeah,
Like Daisy needed to know.
yeah,
She wasn't going to go out there without knowing. Now
yeah.
that she knew,
Mm-hmm.
she acted accordingly.
Yeah.
Joey didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Joey had no idea that this conversation took place.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to think that this happened, but it really does make me wonder, like, I don't know. I mean, like, then they show the rose ceremony and like they didn't show that long pause that seemed to have happened between that I mentioned earlier. And it's like,
Yeah.
was he thrown by that? Did it make him think, oh God, like maybe,
Yeah. Maybe
we
that was
are all seeing everything
coincidence.
from Daisy's perspective and arguably our own perspective, because I think we
Yes.
all felt for her and we all
Yeah.
took things that he said the same way.
Yeah.
But like, what if he didn't? And like, he actually was gonna ask Daisy, and like, what she said really did throw him. And then
Oh.
he asked Kelsey. Obviously, I don't think that's true,
Yeah.
but the question of it
Mm-hmm.
is there because she took control. We didn't really
Mm-hmm.
see him fully make the choice
Yes.
because she kind of bowed out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Like she wasn't going to win, and I put that in
Mm-hmm.
quotes, of course. And so
Right.
she was like, you know what? I'm just gonna step out of this. Stepping
Yeah.
down. I'm leaving. You're not gonna reject me.
Right.
I'm gonna say it's, I'm gonna go. Good for you
Yep.
guys. Be together. Love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go and find my person. And like that's part of the Virgo, and that's part of going back to that
Yeah.
episode that we did too, because that's kind of like what, like
What
that's kind of like what
happened?
Natalie was talking about. Like
Yeah.
she wasn't going to be rejected, like you were saying,
No.
like she wasn't
Mm-hmm.
going to go through that. And we saw it played out. And I think part of, I don't know, I just feel like just the way it was done. I love that, when she left him at that podium, she was like, I'm gonna go. And he's like, Can I walk you out? She's like, No, I think I gotta do this on my own. He's like, Are you sure? She's like, No. I did love that. I love that
Yeah.
because she can go, she's gonna,
Those things
like,
are always awkward.
yeah,
Like,
like, you don't
"Oh,
need to
so
walk
sad.
me
Here's a
out.
little
You
half
rejected
hug and
me.
a kiss on
Like,
the cheek."
yeah, like, I'm gonna go. I'm fine. But really, I feel like if it was me, I don't know how I would have handled it. I either would have gone through it and just been rejected, or if my intuition was so strong, I might have just wanted to do it privately, even though it was still on camera, and have
That's
been
the
like,
thing. I feel like it would have
hey,
been easier to just go to him, break
yes,
up, leave.
yes,
I mean, a lot of Final 2,
yeah.
that's happened before.
Look at Golden Bachelor, Gary and
Exactly.
Leslie.
Like there's
Well,
only
no, it
one person going out there.
yes, and actually, this leads me to my comment about Joey. Joey, you knew it wasn't her, and I know that the whole part of this show is to make that person go through that and go to the proposal and everything.
Do
I
the final
understand.
rose.
Do
Yeah.
the
The
final
drama.
rose, and yeah, the drama, and it's so incredibly sad. But I'm like, I know that it's happened before, right? Like, look at Gary, what he did. Although that was probably unprecedented, and they were probably like, Gary, what are you doing? Like, like on
Yeah.
their walkie-talkies, this is going
Yeah.
down. But like, could he have even been like, you know what, that night, been like, I really care about you and I appreciate you and I think you're such an amazing person. I've really enjoyed our time together, but I just don't. I found something deeper with someone else. And like, and I
Yeah.
know they can't do that. Like I said, like Charity couldn't do that for him. Like, and I'm sure she would have loved to do that because she even said in interviews afterwards, she kind of joked a little, like she asked producers, like, can I write him a note? Like I can't, like I gotta make him go through this. Like, and it's
It's so
like,
hard.
it's so hard to obviously be the person on the other end of it getting rejected, but to be the person to do it, especially when you know you've gone this far with this individual and it's down to the final two, it must be incredibly hard to do. Um, but yeah, that's really just my takes. Is I feel like Daisy, I understand why she did it, and I applaud her for following her intuition, and I applaud her for also walking out on her own, and I love that. But I also wonder, like, why didn't she, or maybe she did consider it, and maybe producers were like, "Hey, no, go, like, go to the, go do your thing." Like,
Go
I
with
don't know.
Kelsey. You want to go with
Yeah,
Kelsey?
just
Like,
ride
you
together,
go
guys. Hold
together.
hands in the
Just like
car. Let's get the shot.
one
Like,
of those fleeting moments. Oh my
let's get the
God.
shot. Hold hands,
Yeah.
guys. Come on. Let's get the. I don't
We were
know.
all over the place. So yeah, they
Yeah.
went there together, and then
Yes.
Daisy spoke with Joey, and she
Yeah.
basically said all the things we just said. And
Yeah.
then she left,
Yeah.
and she had a nice moment with Kelsey.
Yeah.
She said, I think your mom's watching and is really happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
really nice. A
Yeah.
lot of
It was
people
nice of her
loved
to say.
that.
It was nice of
Yeah.
her to say. She meant it
And then
from her
she
heart.
left. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she left. But and then Kelsey went, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit like, why is Kelsey like walking so slowly? I was
I
like, why is
know.
she I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, what if she rejects him?
No.
I don't
I
know
know.
why. I was just
No.
so on pins and needles. But she doesn't. And
Yeah.
it's so
They're
cute. Oh my God.
together.
They're just so
Yeah.
cute.
He's like Kelsey Alexandra Anderson. Will you marry, or however, will you marry me? And
Yeah.
she's like, yes. Like, she's so happy. And
And then
they're
he was
so
like, I
cute.
can finally say I love you. And she's like, finally,
I know.
like, holding it in.
Yeah.
So
It
annoying.
was so
But it
wonderful.
was really cute. I
Yeah.
mean, what really spoke to me, and again, the star sign thing, guys, like I might be a star sign girl because that episode, Natalie, like
You're like
shook
on it now.
me.
You're like, yes.
It shook me
Mhm.
because Natalie said something about how like they have to keep their fire alive,
Mhm.
and like, she hopes they don't burn out. He
Yeah.
literally said, like, our flame will burn forever because you are the light.
I know.
So good, Joey.
He
What
admires
a
her
thing
so
to say.
much. Yeah.
Like, that was beautiful, and I just
Mhm.
felt like, that's the validation that
Yeah.
any Aries girl needs right there. I'm an Aries. I get it. Like, I mean, really, I've had a lot of, like, dating relationships and stuff before, and that's so how it went. It would be like a, intense, like, relationship, but then it would burn out.
Mhm.
And, like, with my husband, it just keeps growing and growing. It's like it truly is, and because I consider him the light, we are the light, like, whatever, I don't
Mhm.
know. Like, now I'm just trying to use Joey's words, but, like, Imma steal that, don't tell him. For Valentine's Day. Um, but yeah, I just felt like that really was, like, so validating for her, and I just
Mhm.
loved that, so that was so sweet. Go
Yeah,
Joey.
it really was. And so yeah, we see them get engaged in Tulum and everything, and
Mhm.
it's beautiful. And then we go back to the studio, and
Yes.
we first, Jesse brought out Daisy first, right? Or was it Joey first? I don't remember. I think it was Joey first, and brought him out. And
Let me
then
see.
brought out, yes, it was Joey first. Sorry, guys, because after that, it's
I was
already
like,
been
why would they
like
want to talk to Daisy right
2 hours. And I'm like, okay. Um, so Joey comes
Oh, I
out.
think Daisy did go first because I
Oh,
write
did
Daisy
she?
looks good. I like her dress. Her makeup looks so different though. She was very glammed up.
Oh my
She
God.
said she saw a spark at the last rose ceremony, but she knew that he and Kelsey were it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
And
because he
then
asked
Joey
her,
and Kelsey
Jesse
came out.
asked her, like, how, when did you know?
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, wasn't he sitting next to her? Okay, so they're together on the
Guys,
couch,
Arena and I
and
talked about this. It was like a little long. A lot of
so
these
long.
I was tired.
So tired.
It was just like a
So
little
tired,
long, so I
guys.
didn't take a lot of notes. I'm not gonna lie on these
Fine.
parts. But anyways,
End of the
you
season,
were saying
guys.
something.
I'm just kidding. But
We
yeah,
got the
so
important stuff.
we did. And they're talking, and basically, I think that's when Joey says, I honestly, until I watched it back, didn't realize how obvious it was. And he's just kind of like, and he was thinking, like, basically, like, when did you know? Like, how did you know? And that's when she's
Mhm.
saying, like, I first saw it at that rose ceremony when Rachel left and the way you guys looked at each other. And then from there, it was like at the spiritual like date that we had with the steam. And then it was like, just all these other things that she mentioned. And so that was really interesting to also hear his perspective because he's just like, well, this is the first time I'm watching it back. And he's like, yeah, I see it how yeah. Like he didn't realize necessarily that in the time, he didn't realize what he was doing because he was just
Yeah.
so caught up and just
Mhm.
being so honest that he thought he was treating them probably very similarly. And he was not at all.
No.
And then, so we get through them talking to each other. She basically says that she's so happy for the both of them. She can't wait to see them together and all that stuff. And then she leaves. And then we finally get to see Kelsey come out. And Kelsey's with Joey for the first time together in public on the couch. And we're so
So
excited. She
cute.
looks so
Yeah.
pretty. I love her.
Mhm.
Her whole outfit's very sleek, very sophisticated. She wore her hair in a
Black.
ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah, black. And they sit there together and they're talking. Jesse surprises them with a trip to back to Jasper, Canada,
Oh,
Alberta, Canada.
yeah.
And also, he talks to them about what are your plans, and they say that they're first going to live in NOLA because that is where Kelsey is, and she's got to finish up her lease. So they're going to live there into the early summer, and then they're going to move to New York City. And guys, I am so excited they're moving to New York City because because Charity and Dotton live in New York City, and they can totally double
They're
date.
hanging
It's
out
so
all the
cute. It's
time. All the
so cute.
time.
I'm so excited. I just want
Yes,
them.
that is
I just can't wait
exciting.
for the pictures. I'm just so.
Yeah.
Anyways,
We will be following them. Don't worry. We're
we
going to
will
keep you
be. We
guys
will be
all
reposting.
updated on them.
Repost,
Oh, I
repost,
just feel like they're
repost.
so like end game for each other. I'm just so happy for them. Like
I'm really
truly.
I'm really happy for them and I feel like out of the 32 women she definitely is the one. Like she is it. And I feel like I can't wait to see their relationship evolve. I can't wait to see them grow together. I can't wait to see more about them because now we're going to
Really hoping they
see
last. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And also like it's interesting I'll say about Joey the fact that we met Joey last year. He started filming this month last year for charity season, not knowing what
Yeah.
this journey was going to be for The Bachelor for him. He
Hmm.
went through that time with charity, had his heart broken, and then became The Bachelor, became beloved across the country, has become arguably one of the best bachelors in franchise history, and now he's found a love to someone who chose him and someone who
Yes.
said that she wants it to be him. And Kelsey said that when they were in their nighttime portion. I forgot to mention that. She's like, I
Hmm.
want it to be you. And that's her telling him, I'm choosing you. And he's always like, I
Yeah.
want someone to choose me. So that was so beautiful. But now
Yeah.
he's with that person and now they can grow their love and have this lovely story and everything. And so it's really nice to see. So that's basically it. I mean, we have Daisy come back out, they bring her back out. I
Ah,
mean, I'm
and
not really
they
sure.
made it really seem
Yeah.
like she was going to be called the Bachelorette.
Yes, they
They're
did.
like, oh, Daisy's coming back out. It's like, why?
Why are
What?
you
We
doing
already saw
this?
her.
Oh.
And Jesse asked her, like, do you see yourself dating again?
Mm-hmm.
Once again, we're all like, is this the
Is
segue
it?
to the Bachelorette
Mm-hmm.
conversation? And
Yeah.
she says, no, I'm
No.
not ready. You know? And I think we were all just kind of like, okay.
Yes.
And then they bring Charity out, which
Yeah.
like great to see Charity, but it was so confusing. It's like, okay, hi
I was
Charity.
wondering though, when Charity came out, I was like, I wonder if it's going to be Jen for sure. Because
Really?
so Charity, they're both women of color,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like, Charity's so amazing, and the way she was describing the person, I was like, I don't know, I think it's gonna be Jen now, and that was my only inkling right before it happened, because obviously we talked about it before Bachelorette, and we
Yeah.
both had Jen on our list, and but we were
We
all very
did.
much like, but will they? And
No, we I don't think we thought they really would. I felt that
yeah,
they would probably choose the viewership,
yeah,
which would be for Maria and Daisy.
yeah,
Daisy was perfect because she was also a person with a disability for
yes,
that,
yeah,
inclusivity
yeah.
check box they want to
That they
check.
want to check at ABC and Bachelor, yeah.
Right. But she kind of just said, no, I don't want to do it.
Mhm.
Which we literally saw. That was basically why they had her up here to just be like, sorry, America, we asked, but she said no.
Which was, ugh,
So we
yeah.
chose someone else.
Mhm.
And Charity announces that it's Jen. Very exciting.
Yes.
I was so
Yes!
happy. We're all really, really
So,
happy.
so
Um,
happy.
Jen was so cute and fun and
Yeah. She's
like smart
beautiful,
too. I mean, she's
smart.
becoming a physician's assistant, although I'm
Yes.
not gonna lie, I feel like she may not do that.
Yeah. She's gonna have so
Maybe
many
not for a
opportunities.
while.
Yeah.
Maybe like 5, 10 years. Like, I don't know. I just don't really see her doing that
Go,
in
Jen.
between seasons of The Bachelor. That's no joke of a profession.
Yeah, it's
So,
hard,
I
guys.
mean, I think though the fact that she could do it and that
Yeah.
she got into the schools to do it,
Yeah.
obviously super smart girl,
Yes.
beautiful, fun.
Yes.
Um,
First Asian American
cultural. Yep.
Bachelorette.
That's gonna be
Amazing.
really fun to watch.
First lead in
Like,
franchise history all
yeah.
this time.
hmm
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
just really
But
excited.
yeah, I mean, it was really great to see her, although I did feel some like nervous vibes from
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
She's a little nervous, which I totally get. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, like
Yeah.
people were thinking it was Maria. I would feel a little type
Yeah.
of way if I knew
Yeah.
everyone was thinking it was going to be some other person. Then
Mhm.
I come out, surprise.
Yeah.
A lot of people were surprised.
Mm.
But I think a lot of people are really happy and know that we are some of those people that have been
Yes.
really wanting
Yes.
them to push the boundaries of, normal and what's,
Yeah. Represent the
expected.
country and
Yeah,
represent
represent.
the audience that actually watches this show and give us someone who not only deserves it and like you said is smart and beautiful and spunky, fun, like definitely had a great vibe on the show, was friends with everyone on the
Mhm.
show.
That's the thing. She was so
Just
chill
Yeah,
and
she was
fun.
so chill and fun. Joey said she was spunky and fun too. Like she is 100%. And also the
And she's
representation.
gorgeous. Mhm.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. And the representation that we're gonna hopefully get to see her Vietnamese family, her background. And I look forward to that. And plus the fact that, her dynamic that she talked about with her family, with her father, like that's real life. That is
She
real.
deserves
People,
love.
yeah.
Like, she literally said, like, "I don't think I know what it means to be, like, in love. I've never seen, like, a
Mhm.
healthy relationship." So, I'm really hoping that this season, like, respects that for her
Yes.
and, like, takes that
Yes.
seriously and doesn't mess
Mhm.
around and have stupid challenges. Like, I hope they really take their time to, like,
I hope
help
so.
her find someone who really validates her and
Yeah.
loves her for who she is,
Yes.
because she
Uh,
deserves that.
Definitely she does. And I also hope that they do her justice in terms of showing her family and her
Mhm.
background, her culture, her race, that they do a good job with that because really she is the first one in this franchise and it needs to be right. It needs to be great. It needs to be a spectacular season. And she would make it a spectacular season, but it's also about production and editing and what they want to show us
That
and how they
that's what I'm
showcase
worried
it.
about, Arena.
Yeah.
Like, the whole shot thing, so for those of you who didn't watch, she basically was like, "It's shot o'clock, everyone takes shots." So, like, all the Bachelor Nation people, I don't think the people in the crowd, but, like, the
Yeah.
Bachelor Nation people all
Yeah.
got a shot of who knows
Mhm.
what, and they
Yeah.
took a shot, and I was a little shocked by that because I was like,
Mhm.
"Whoa," like, never seen I don't think they've done that
I
before.
don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think
Um
so. Yeah.
And, like, I get it. That's, like, a fun thing to do, but I was also kind
Mhm.
of like, I really hope that's and then I also saw her say something where, like, "Get ready, it's gonna be, like, a messy season. Like, join me for this messy season." And I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that that's really what she wants. Like, maybe that is what she wants, and she's, like, excited to let loose like that,
Mm.
which great. I feel like I didn't really read that during
Yeah.
the season. I didn't get
Yeah.
her like, see her as, like, this huge party girl or, like,
Mhm.
messy. I mean, she wasn't in any drama.
No. No drama.
So I'm just kinda like, "Why are they pushing this?" And then I'm
Yeah.
thinking, "Well, you know what? Maybe this is their, like, consolation effort for not picking Maria, who could
Mm.
be pretty messy on her season, you know? I think that's what America kind of wanted,
Yeah.
like a no holds bar kind of bachelorette where it's
Mhm.
like she just says what she wants, takes shot like, if she was up there taking shots, I feel like it would have been a little more natural,
Mhm.
but with Jen, I felt it was a little more just, like, surprising to me. I didn't get
Mhm.
that, but
Yeah.
I just hope that they're not pushing her too far to
Yeah.
be a certain way. I hope she's
Yes.
just herself.
Yes.
I hope that
I hope
because
that
she really
too.
is a great girl.
Really, and that's what we should see is who she is and how she presents herself genuinely. And yeah, I mean, we'll find out this summer. I think I heard that they're not going to start her season until July on TV, which is pretty late.
Oh,
Usually it starts end of May or end of June. So I don't know if that'll change, but I hope it starts a little earlier. So
yeah.
that's pretty far. And then I guess we're going to find out during her season who the Golden Bachelorette is, because that's going to happen in the fall. And
Oh,
then
I
we'll
was
have
hoping that would be,
Golden
like, next
Bachelor.
week.
I
What are we gonna
know.
do, Arena?
I know. Like,
Between
I'm like, how are
seasons.
we? This is like a really huge gap between the seasons. Like,
It
I don't
is.
know if
It's
I can
almost
really.
I mean, it's 4 months,
It
right?
really, it's
Almost.
like so long. Like, yeah. It's like
Well,
three
guys,
and a
for our
half months,
listeners,
maybe.
don't you worry your pretty
We're
little
just gonna have
heads. We're
content.
going to come up with awesome content. Won't
Yes.
always be Bachelor centric,
Yes.
but definitely on
Yeah.
par with Bachelor. I think other
Mhm.
reality shows we like,
Yes.
love and relationship advice. I don't know.
Yes.
We'll figure
Hey.
it out.
Yeah.
Maybe our husbands will take a cameo and lend a
Right?
male ear or
Yes.
voice to the
Yeah, right.
board.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, hot takes with her husband. Spicy takes.
Yes, spicy takes.
Spicy takes.
But yeah, so don't worry. We're still pushing out content,
Mhm.
but I mean, obviously we are gonna miss The Bachelorette.
Yeah,
Wish that we could start a season. But
right.
I think also another thing is that, keep an eye out on our Patreon because we're gonna post like smaller bonus contents,
Yeah.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
something a little bit more pointed towards like what we think the franchise should do and then
Yes.
other ideas like that. We've
Yes, we
already
will
filmed
definitely.
some, but we haven't put them out yet, so keep an
Yeah.
eye out.
So head to our Patreon to check that out and our YouTube. And of course, check out our link tree on Instagram because you can find the links to all of these amazing places where we have our content and wherever you
Yeah,
listen to your podcast. You can definitely don't forget to rate us
rate
and
us.
rate us 5 stars. Thank you to all who have and
Yeah,
reviewed us. We really
yes.
appreciate you guys.
I
Like, it's
know. Shout out
nice.
Famous
And
Mom.
yeah. Hey,
Love your
famous
review. We
mom.
were like, wow,
Aw.
she hit the nail on the head as
Yes.
far as like what we wanted to
Yes.
do this podcast
We're like,
for. So
yes.
so it was really great to see.
Yeah.
Thanks, Famous Mom.
Yes, thank you.
If you're famous, we
Yeah.
want to know who you are. I'm just um,
You know,
but yeah,
yeah.
definitely, rate us and
Yeah.
share with your friends. We'd love to, get to know you guys better. So don't be
Mhm.
shy in the comments. Let
Yeah.
us know what your thoughts are and
Yeah.
any ideas that you want to know for bonus content. That would be really fun.
Mhm. Yeah, we really appreciate it, and that's pretty much how we're wrapping it up, right? Like, pretty
Yeah,
much that was the after the final rose. We did
that's
get to see a
everything,
lot of
guys.
Bachelor alum in the audience.
Yeah,
We
it
saw
was great
Charity
to
and
see Gary and
Dotun.
Teresa.
Gary
They
and
were so
Teresa!
cute together.
Love
They
you
were
guys!
very cute.
We saw some of the Golden Ladies. Of course, we saw Kathy and Susan, who have their new Golden Happy Hour podcast coming up for the
Yes.
franchise. We also got to see Sandra and Leslie, of course. We
Mhm.
saw some of the
Oh, we
guys from
saw Gabby and Rachel
Gabby and
and
Rachel.
Gabby's
Yes.
girlfriend.
Yes.
So
We
that was
saw
great to
them.
see. Gabby's hair looked amazing as
It
always.
did, and I really loved Rachel's her face during some of the scenes during the
She does
episode
not hold
were
it back.
priceless.
Yeah.
She was like,
We should get some
at one point.
stills.
I was like, yes. So shout out to Rachel Recchia. That was awesome and entertaining. Thank you. And also we got to see, some of the guys from Charity Season who Joey's friends with, such as John and
Yeah.
Sean and Tanner and Adrian. And we also got to see some of the ladies from this season of The Bachelor as well.
Yes.
Kelsey T, Leia, Rachel, Maria, Lauren, Lexi, Autumn. So we saw a bunch of, and if I'm missing someone, I'm so sorry.
And if you guys haven't seen the behind the scenes from all the producers on their
Oh,
their
yeah.
stories, I like couldn't share them. It's like a story, so you can't share a
Oh, yeah.
story. But there
Yeah.
was some real, like if you, what are their? I'm gonna
There's
find
some
their
really great
their
some of
handles
the
right now.
producers like really put out some great stuff, guys, and it's so fun to see it.
It's behind the scenes stuff. It's really
Yes.
fun to look
Yeah.
at. So like one of the producers, I'm just gonna try and find their names. Hold on. So, one of them is Dude, You're So
Oh,
Tall,
yeah.
at Dude, You're So Tall. And then the other one is at, oh wait, at Steph Wrestler. Okay. STEPH Wrestler. So she is the one who posted a bunch of behind the scenes. And it's just been really fun to see because, like, again, I just love seeing these people. Like, we only see the surface. We only see what
Yes.
production and ABC has deemed important for us. But Instagram and TikTok, they give us the whole other side of these people, the intimate, like, life stories of these people and the personalities.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important to, like, follow them, honestly. Like, I think that we've gotten so much more out of this season,
Mhm.
like, interacting with them, following them,
Yeah.
than just watching.
Yeah.
I think it helps keep us, like, grounded, you
It
know?
does. It definitely does, and it's so cool to like be able to do that, especially in this day and age. I think maybe
Mhm.
when The Bachelor started, you can do this type of things, obviously.
No,
And now
no,
you
no.
can. And so it's just really great. And so, yeah, we're going to wrap it up. And I just want to say one more time, we're really happy. I'm really happy to see Joey and Kelsey together and to see Joey find his one after watching
Yes.
him now for so long
Mhm.
and being a fan. And, just so happy for him, and it's wonderful. And for Kelsey too, because
Agreed.
Kelsey seems like such a great person, and they both seem like great people and a great couple. So good
Yeah.
luck to them.
Congrats to the happy couple.
Congratulations.
Thank you to all our listeners who've stuck with us and all our new
Mhm,
listeners.
mhm.
Stay tuned for more episodes and for
Yeah.
next season, of course, with Jen.
Yes, Jack!
Yay!
It's coming, it's coming.
Cheers.
Cheers,
It's
guys.
been
Got
fun
one
getting our
more.
buzz on, guys.
Yes. Till next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.